games, but how encouraging is it to play the way you guys have without even having Santi and Zakai these past 2 games?
I think it gives us a lot of versatility with lineups, and I think that's important going into different matchups in the SEC and in the preseason. Just knowing who we're going against, knowing what we might need from game to game. It's promising that no matter what lineup we have in, it will be effective, and whether that's on offensive end or defensive end, it will be effective. So I think that's promising, especially being able to go without Santi and Z.
What do you consider your role inside of this offense with all these different pieces that you all have?
I think it's a difficult question because I think I just do whatever's needed for the team, and that can go from a game-to-game basis. Whether we need more assists, whether we need more rebounding, we need defense, we need shooting, we need scoring. I just want to be able to be that guy that can, no matter what lineup you put me in, whether it's 1 through 5, I can do it. What you need on the court, no matter what it is, I can do it. So just being that guy that can, kind of like that Drew Holiday piece that can do whatever is needed for the team.
At the same time, it's got to be really neat going into the season with so much depth, knowing that you guys have someone that can spell you when you need to.
No, absolutely. I think it lets us know that we can go 100% on every play, and knowing that we're going to have somebody that can come in and keep that same energy, and it's not going to be really a drop-off. I think that's what we're going to get teams the most, because these games are long, and it's not about really how you start, it's about how you finish. And that long game, guys get tired. But having that depth can really complement that and make sure guys can come in, fresh.
How much fun is it playing with Dalton Connect?
Oh, man, it's amazing. He's a guy that can score, he can run the floor, and he can talk. He talks to you during the game, and he kind of tells you what he sees and tell you what he thinks about a play. And it's easy for you to have a conversation with him on the court. And for me, that's important because I want to know where you're thinking, where I missed you, where I didn't see you, where you could have been open. So he's pretty outgoing, outspoken with stuff like that. So I think it's going to be fun to just find the spots that he's at and make him better.
Have you seen that kind of explosiveness that we saw on that dunk in practice the last few months?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a guy that can really jump. But I think we have a lot of guys that can jump like that we really haven't got the opportunity to see. But yeah, no, he's definitely athletic, especially when he's going downhill like that on a fast break. He can definitely jump. So it wasn't surprising to me to see something like that.
I know you've talked a lot about wanting to improve your jump shots. How do you feel like you're progressing there?
I feel like I'm progressing a lot in that area. It's definitely something that I've worked on a ton, and just being able to use that so I can keep the defense honest, it's just gonna make it no reason for you to take me out the game. So it's not gonna be a drop off in scoring. It's not gonna be a drop off in defense. So if I can do something on both ends, then that's just, for me, it's a perfect way to go about things, a perfect way to help this team.
You mentioned Drew Holiday a minute ago. What other comparisons about his game do you try to implement to yours?
I think his leadership, especially on both ends. He's whenever you see him play, he's a defensive, menace. Like, he knows how to guard 1 through 5. He figures out angles. But even on the offensive end, he doesn't need to score 30, 40 points in order to be effective. He'll do everything that's in the stat sheet in order to win. And I think that's important coming in, just having that mentality. Us being around the same height, same weight, same, wingspan, I think it's important for me to try and key into that. And that's going to help me, try and piece things together for the team so we can win.
How much more comfortable are you playing the point guard position after you went through it all last year?
Man, like you said, last year it was not a surprise because I'm always ready, but it was a little bit caught off guard. Just, you don't expect injuries like that. And to come in that time of, when we're deep in the SEC play, we're about to go into tournament play, it really gave me the experience that I needed in order to go through a full season with that, under my belt. So just having that and adding that to be another position I can play is going to make me more effective on the court. So I think it's important that I got that experience because I can use it on a game-to-game basis. Whether you want to have Zakai in that point guard and me at the 2 or other way around, I can do whatever. So having that experience is really going to help me moving forward.
Where did you say Freddie's at going into the going into the regular season, and that moment kind of he had at Michigan State? Are y'all trying to draw that out more in terms of that intensity?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's a guy that, he loves to compete and he loves to play. He loves his game. And you can tell he's a really talented player, especially in practice. You see it the most. And I think it's really just getting that experience. From game to game, you're going to see him getting better and better. And I mean, his potential is, through the roof. You really don't know how good he is until you're going to see it from game to game basis. But I think by the time this season is nearing the end, you're going to see a really complete player.
2 more for Jahmai.
What makes you say that? Why do you believe that that's going to come out by the end of the year?
Because I'm with this guy, every day, every other day, and I see how focused he is and how much he wants to get better and how important this is for him to win and for him to improve his game. And when you see stuff like that and you see the look on guys' eyes just wanting to improve, you know that they can get better. And he's fighting right now, and he wants to just continue to learn more. And I think with a guy who has those tools and those intangibles, it's going to go a long way in the season.
Last one.
Martin said after the game against Winona Ryan that the freshmen misran a set during that game. How do you, as an upperclassman, make sure those guys are on the same page and do the right things during games?
I think it's just pumping them up with positivity is important. The coaches are going to tell them where they did wrong. They already know that they did wrong. So they have a bunch of negativity already in their mind, on their heart. So just pumping it up with positivity, telling them that they do know the play. They're just, it's a game. This is their second, exhibition game in college. Like, it's a lot of pressure. So just telling them to breathe, telling them to concentrate, telling them that it's okay if you mess up. I think it gives them a little bit more breathing room to really think more. When you are always on that negativity aspect, you start to get tight. You start to, not remember things. And I remember when I was a freshman, it was stuff like that. So just, leaning into them, giving them, that positivity is important. So I think they're gonna learn it quick, and they have been learning it quick in practice. So it's great.
Thanks, Jahmai.